Today, I'm going to be sharing 10 essential rules for building an 8-figure business that will help you grow over the long run and keep your clients coming back year after year. I've been able to audit over 5,000 businesses, and we've worked with over 1,000 clients, and several of them have been doing 8 and 9 figures. So these lessons come from me personally scaling a $10 million portfolio for myself and many other clients as well. And make sure you stick around. By the end of this video, I'm gonna be sharing a powerful technique that most businesses miss, and it could be the key to keeping your clients for the long haul. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Jordan Ross. We're an 8-figure agency. We're a growth consultancy and portfolio. We worked with over 1,000 agencies. And a lot of these lessons I learned not only by growing my own business successfully, but by managing over 2,500 employees and launching 3 different businesses at Amazon. Without further ado, let's dive in. The first rule is one I think everyone knows, but it's so easily overlooked, and that's customer obsession. Jeff Bezos says customer obsession is Amazon's guiding #1 value and principle that has made the company successful. And I have 2 anecdotal quick stories that explain how easy it is to overlook this. I had a friend who is growing his portfolio. He's trying to sell more services to his clients. He runs an ad agency. And he came to me and said, I'm not really sure which service to offer next. And I said, hey, it's really simple. What do your clients need? What are your clients telling you? What problems are they facing? And that was such a major unlock for him because he was trying to figure out in a silo what to build. And on the other side of that, my business in 2024, we added over $1 million in profit distributions to owners across 4 new business services we launched because we only launched services that our clients actually needed, that I was able to see there was a true need from working with them for over 4 years. So focus on your customer, and that's all inclusive. What do they need? What are they telling you? And build that into your culture. If you only focus on that one thing, I promise you'll succeed. But it's also very easy to start to overlook. Number 2, the fastest way to grow is slow. And another way of saying this is build an elite product and service. I find one of the biggest mistakes that young, hungry entrepreneurs make, or ambitious entrepreneurs make, is by trying to move too fast. And this is something I did as well. When I was in 2022 going into 2023, in the month of December 2022, we had onboarded over 20 retainer clients, and my forecast for 2023 showed me that we would add about $4 to $6 million in top line annual recurring revenue. And we missed that by a long shot. And the reason for that is it's always far easier when you do business correctly to scale sales and marketing. You could always onboard clients far faster than you could build a service and a product. And the reason for that is, once you understand marketing schematics and marketing principles, you could crush that pretty quick. But what always happens is operations in product development and service development takes a really long time. And when I made that mistake in 2022 going to 2023, once you actually start compounding mistakes and you start churning clients and you start having to build system to catch up and you have to put out fires, you create a compounding vehicle that's actually horrible. I call it agency prison. It's so hard to break out of that cycle of putting out fires and then actually investing the time to build the business. So to avoid that completely, if you want to make millions and pay yourself millions, there will be many times in your business journey where you have to intentionally cap how many clients you onboard in a month, in a quarter. You have to slow things down and really emphasize and hold the line on quality. And this is something I do across all my businesses now. Now that I'm not in a place where I need or feel a need for making money, I tell my CEOs, we will not onboard more than this. I will not sell more than this because we need to build an elite service. And that's something that takes several years and everyone thinks it doesn't. So fast is slow and slow is fast. Number 3 is hire elite talent. Now, everyone talks about this, but I'm gonna give you the most practical example. Everyone knows that an A player is worth 3 B players. But what Warren Buffett talks about is the amount of problems that you're going to have when you hire B or C talent is going to outweigh from opportunity costs and compounding negative mistakes by paying more for the A talent. And the way Warren talks about it, if he goes to a dinner party and meets 100 people, he knows for a fact 3 of those 10 will be amazing performers. And the way Warren talks about this, if he interviews 100 people for an executive role, he'll know for sure 1 to 3 of those people will be a home run A level person. And 97 of those people, he won't be sure. So he leans into the people he knows for sure and he pays them a lot. And the most practical example I have for this is a lot of ad agencies come to me asking how much they should be paying their strategists, their account managers. And in 2025 and beyond, a good account manager at a bare minimum, like the one that's going to be an A player, that's going to enable you to not have to work in the operation, not have to manage them that much, not have to oversee their accounts, starts at a minimum of $120,000 a year. And for a lot of businesses, they try to cut corners and they might try to hire someone for 60, 70, 80, 90, even 100. But the amount of time they lose on strategy growing their business compared to just paying the extra $40, $50, $20,000 extra annually, the opportunity cost is not worth it. I promise you. Elite talent does actually save you a lot of time and makes you far more money. Number 4, owning less is more. And this is a painful lesson that I had to learn myself. Now, as a quick caveat, a lot of these lessons are focused on mistakes that you'll make compared to if you just lean into these principles. Now, at the present moment, I own 6 businesses, but up until 2023, I only owned 1, and I owned 100% of that one. And that one business, I had only been able to scale up until 2023, $2 to $3 million in annual revenue. But the second I started to say I want to own less, I started to make far more. And I looked at all of the clients that I've worked with over the course of years, and the businesses that always had at least 2 partners scaled exponentially faster. It might seem counterintuitive at first, it might not, but if you're willing to make less from a salary perspective in the short term, I promise you, compounded over 2 years at least, you're going to make far more salary and profit distributions in your business if you have another A++ partner. Number 5 is billionaires master culture. If you go into any Fortune 1000 business, you'll see that each one has nuanced rules on how to guide their business, how to operate their company. But if you go into a lot of SMBs, small and medium businesses, there's not going to have those principles. And these principles and rules that I'm talking about are called heuristics. Now, you could Google heuristics. You could also look up the book called The Culture Code, which is where I learned this. But heuristics are simple sets of rules that drive complex sets of behaviors. And all of these amazing companies like Amazon and Tesla and Google, they all have culture. They all understand that culture is psychology at scale. And if you're going to make a crap ton, mastering culture is imperative. At Amazon, some of my favorite ones were trust but verify, assume positive intent, know who your end customer is. And these rules guide nuanced levels of decision. So psychology is one of the most important things that matters, and culture is the greatest use case for psychology matters, because it's just, what do your people do when you're not there? If you study the culture code, you can go far further in your journey of scaling to 8 figures and 9 figures compared if you don't. Number 6, hire experts. And such a simple one. Everyone talks about it. So few people actually do it. And I have a very anecdotal example. In the last week, my partner for my podcast said, hey, we need to put our heads together to think about how we can grow our podcast. I replied one word. No. We don't. We don't need to put our heads together because I'm not a podcast growth expert. I then wrote, we need to hire an expert to tell us what to do. And Mr. Beast talks about this in his handbook for his company. If there is a problem in your business and you're trying to solve it or Google it or DIY it, you are doing it wrong. Hire an expert. Hire an expert for funnel, for sales, for marketing, for operations, for culture, for porn, anything. Do not try to figure stuff out on your own. You will grow so much faster if every time you have a major problem or major constraint in your business, you hire someone. And if you are pinching your budget, even if you're smaller, this will disproportionately grow your business. I promise you that. And even when I was smaller, even when I didn't have a lot of money, I would always hire an expert. And one example was Wiz of Ecom. I paid him $10,000 in 2021 when at the time my marketing budget was far less than $10,000. But that $10,000 I invested with him when I was uncomfortable investing it with him turned into several millions, over $10 million. Just that one investment. So the right investment with the right expert can disproportionately grow your business. Number 7, find out where attention is cheap. Now, one of the amazing stories that no one knows about Amazon is that when Google Ads had first come out, Amazon was one of the biggest buyers and investors into Google Ads. And at a time when they were able to cheaply acquire customers, they had mastered that system. They had one person who had mastered that in the company and made them millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. And at any given moment in time, there's always cheaper attention on newer platforms. You know, over the last 5 years, TikTok has been one of those places. You have to master marketing. Everyone knows that. You have to build a brand. Everyone knows that. But there's always a place where you can go in and master a cheaper platform where if you get the ability to get disproportionate exposure and get disproportionate amount of customers in a time where you might not have a lot of budget. That's where you're able to disproportionately grow. Number 8, you rise to your goals or you fall to the level of your systems. Now, this can go back to the second principle, fast is slow, but I have seen thousands, countless thousands of companies come to 8F because they were stuck, and they were stuck because of their operations. They were stuck because of their processes, their people. Everyone always over indexes on sales and marketing and far too greatly under indexes in operations. The number one thing that will slow you down is your systems, is your principles and actions of process. I can promise you this. I know this because that's all we solve. That's all we focus on. And if this is something you're facing as an issue, make sure you go to 8figureagency.co, book a call with us, and we can give you a consultation on how to solve that. And real quick, before I move forward, if this video is adding value to you, make sure you like and subscribe. I deeply care about helping you and helping other businesses grow, and liking and subscribing really helps expand the reach. Thank you so much. Number 9, reverse engineer success. Now, this is one of the most tried and true principles I've ever learned, and I learned this from Gary Keller. Gary Keller started Keller Williams, which in the last 40 years has grown from just a startup real estate company to literally the largest real estate company in North America. And when you consider that it's a newer business, it's not a real estate company that's 100 years old, it's extremely impressive. And the way Gary says it is, what's your big goal? Start there. What's your one thing? If you could only accomplish one big goal, what would that big goal be? And now ask yourself, if that's your big goal, and it could be like, I want to have $10 million or $100 million, what's the one thing you could accomplish this year that disproportionately gets you closer to that goal? And then you back up further. What's the one thing I could accomplish this month that, hence that by doing so, will allow me to easily and effortlessly hit my 1-year goal? And then what's the one thing I could do this week that will easily and effortlessly help me hit my 1-month goal? If that's the only process you do of all of this, and you actually master it, because it is a process of trial and error, you won't be great at it or even good at it at first, but if you truly get really good at that one thing, you'll make probably billions if you actually truly master it. The recommendation there is to check out The One Thing. There's a book. It's an amazing book. It's a best-selling book, and it's probably one of the few resources that have made me several millions of dollars. Number 10, my last and final one, luck is real. And to say that in a different way, manifest. Quantum physics has shown us on a scientific basis that you can attract your success. Like does attract like. And in 2020, this became undeniably true when quantum physics finally caught up to all the claims of the Instagram manifesting girls that were talking about this. And the best proponent of this, the best teacher I've ever seen for this, is Dr. Joe Dispenza. Man, he's changed my life, and he's changed the way I live and act. And he's actually cured so many people of so many crazy ailments and diseases, because not only does this create your success, it can also heal you physically. Luck is real. Learn how to manifest, and you should live that every single day, because you are attracting or repelling your success. Now, if you do these 10 things, you will be able to offer an unbeatable service for your clients. However, even the best services could lose their impact on their clients by not actively listening to them, which leads to bad customer retention. My video on how to use customer feedback to transform your business will show you how to actively gather customer feedback to keep your clients loyal and engaged for the long term. Click the link here to watch now. Thank you.